Breaking overnight, more oversight is coming for the Madison Police Department. What the council passed overnight and how the mayor is responding.
Plus, it is the first day of the semester for UW students. In an interview you'll see first here on News 3 Now this morning, we'll go one-on-one with former governor and interim UW system president Tommy Thompson about how the university is combating the coronavirus.
And we have clear skies and warmer temperatures to start your Wednesday morning. I'll tell you how warm it's going to get later on this afternoon in just a few minutes.
This is News 3 Now this morning.
Good morning, everybody. It's Wednesday, September 2nd, and we start this hour with breaking news. More oversight just approved for the Madison Police Department.
City Council voted overnight to approve a civilian oversight board and independent police monitor. The council meeting wrapped up just a couple of hours ago after a 9-hour meeting, passing these 4 motions. They create the positions, set the specifics for how they'll operate, and provide the funding for them.
So here's what this all means going forward. The 11-member police oversight board will make recommendations on use of force and officer discipline. 9 members would be nominated by community groups, including Freedom Inc., Just Dane, YWCA, and Urban Triage, with the hope of representing those disenfranchised by police. However, the ultimate decision to discipline and fire officers is still up to the city's Police and Fire Commission. As for the independent police monitor, that person will review incidents where police force is used and will be in charge of processing citizen complaints and ensuring independent reviews of policing. Both the independent monitor and the oversight board will be able to appoint legal counsel to guide people who bring complaints to the PFC. And breaking within the last hour, Madison Mayor Sati Rhodes Conway out with a statement this morning on the council's decision. She calls it a milestone for the city and for the state of Wisconsin, saying, quote, "I hope this long-awaited effort will result in the transparency and community demands, as well as contribute to greater community confidence and trust in our police department."
Despite concerns from some state and local leaders, things went relatively peacefully in Kenosha during President Trump's visit yesterday, although there were some clashes in the crowd.
They surrounded me and attacked me and started chanting things like they were completely out of control.
The man who you just heard from was attacked by protesters for wearing a hat that supported President Trump. After the beating, he says he was chased down the street by the crowd. There were also arguments between pro-Trump supporters and protesters.
To stand up against Trump in the face of all the violence that he's been unleashing around the country.
But there was not the chaos we've seen other nights in the city, and when curfew hit, most people went home. As it has every other night, curfew started at 7 o'clock, but starting tonight and for the rest of the week, they are pushing the curfew back to start at 9 o'clock.
Breonna Taylor's boyfriend, Kenneth Walker, says he is living in constant fear since he was arrested for shooting one of the officers who opened fire in Taylor's apartment. That's according to a lawsuit filed yesterday. The $10.5 million lawsuit claims Walker is being maliciously prosecuted for firing a shot at assailants who broke down the door on March 13th. Those assailants turned out to be the officers enacting a no-knock warrant on Taylor's home. Taylor was shot and killed by the officers during their operation. Walker says he is a legal gun owner and wouldn't knowingly shoot at a police officer. Ben & Jerry's is launching a new podcast about racism in America. The ice cream brand will put out a 6-part series with Vox Media. The series links specific periods in U.S. history to modern-day systemic racism in 30-minute episodes. The podcast, named Who We Are, A Chronicle of Racism in America, premieres September 15th.
Facebook says they've successfully dismantled a small network of accounts and pages linked to a Russian-influenced operation. Facebook says that the campaign had links to the Russian Internet Research Agency. That agency has close ties to the country's government and is accused of interfering with the 2016 presidential election. Twitter says it also suspended 5 accounts from the same network, Peace Data, which targeted left-leaning voters. Both Facebook and Twitter say this is a limited success. The operation was done with the FBI's Foreign Influence Task Force, according to BBC.
Just about 6:04 right now. Hattie McLean is tracking the tropics. Hattie, I've seen a lot of talk on one of the tropical storm systems saying that it's our grandma, Nana.
Yeah, kind of a strange name there, but we do have 2 named storms right now. Josh is right, Tropical Storm Nana and Omar on the map right now. Also monitoring 2 possible areas of development further to the east in the Atlantic. The wave coming right off of Africa right now maybe has the best chance of developing into a storm over the next 5 days. But let's take a closer look at the storms that we actually have on the map. This is Omar. It's off the eastern coast of the United States, and good news for us, the path of this storm takes us away from the U.S. over the coming days, so no impact to the United States. Likewise, Tropical Storm Nana is not really going to impact the United States, but it will track right across the Yucatan Peninsula, bringing some strong wind gusts and some pretty heavy rain, and then back out into the Pacific by Friday of this week. So really limited impacts for the U.S. right now. Our weather track showing you what's happening a little bit closer to home. We had some rain overnight, but now all that rain is off to the east. Still a cold front lags behind that rain to our west. It'll act to dry out the atmosphere. No rain is expected with this front. We will just see the dew points fall as we go through the afternoon. Again, let's take a closer look at what's happening here in southern Wisconsin. As skies clear, temperatures are dropping. We're down to 63 in Madison, 59 in the Dells, 59 in Camp Douglas. Viroqua is at 56. Coolest temperatures are north and west of Madison, where skies have been clear longer this morning. Your future track forecast model showing you that any cloud cover into the east is going to clear out of the area pretty quickly. We're looking at sunshine for the remainder of the day. Temperatures are going to warm nicely. By lunchtime, here's a look at those numbers. Mid-70s for most locations. We'll go a little higher than that this afternoon to highs pretty close to 80 degrees in most spots. Keeping that sunshine right through the evening hours. As the sun sets, temperatures will begin to cool down, but with a southerly wind, it's not going to be quite as cool overnight. Here's a look at the extended forecast. 61 tomorrow morning as you start your day. Temperatures will climb into the upper 70s on Thursday, mid 70s on Friday. Overall, though, a cooling trend as we head into next week. Definitely feeling like fall after Labor Day, with highs back into the middle 60s.
Yeah, peeping those 60s in that extended forecast has.
Certainly am. Nighttime lows in the 40s as well.
Oof, thank you very much. 6:06 now. Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin says he hopes to reach a bipartisan coronavirus relief package. He made the comment Tuesday while testifying in front of a House subcommittee that's investigating the federal response to the pandemic. Talks between Democrats and the Trump administration on this package broke down early last month. Mnuchin promised he would return to the negotiating table and said he would call House Speaker Nancy Pelosi following the hearing. Pelosi confirmed he did make that call, but the two sides are still more than $1 trillion apart.
The CDC is putting a hold on some renter evictions to help prevent the spread of COVID-19. To qualify for protection, you must meet all 4 of the following criteria. Couples making less than $198,000 per year, or a single person who makes less than $99,000. People who can prove that they have requested government assistance to pay rent, prove they're unable to pay rent because of the pandemic, and show that they are likely to become homeless if evicted. The block on evictions is effective until the end of the year. 6:07 right now. It is the first day of classes for UW schools. UW-Madison has tested about 15% of its students and staff so far on campus for COVID-19. There have been 124 positive results, about the same number off campus. Yesterday, I had the opportunity to speak with interim UW system president and former Governor Tommy Thompson. We talked about reopening campuses during a pandemic, a plan for shutting down schools if cases spike, and coronavirus testing. You have to say to the parents who just dropped off their 18-year-old daughter who may be worried about her health and safety?
I tell those parents, I understand you're concerned, and I want to tell you what we've done. We set aside a room upstairs, the action room, and every single morning for an hour and a half, we go through every campus in our system. And we're looking at the kind of supplies they have for protecting everybody. We talk about the testing, and I think we've set up the most complete testing program of any university in America. I haven't checked every university, but from what I've been able to read and ascertain, we're one of the top schools to test individuals, and I'm proud of that.
We talked about a number of important issues. You can watch more of my conversation with President Thompson this evening on News 3 Now at 6.
All right, you have a chance to get to know the new superintendent of Madison schools later today. We're hosting a virtual town hall with Dr. Carlton Jenkins this afternoon. Charlotte DeLeste will be asking him questions about the unique set of challenges this year for teachers, students, and parents. They'll also be fielding questions from students in the district. This starts at 2 over on our Facebook page. We'll also have a recap on our evening shows.
State and county health leaders meantime, have confirmed more than 830 new COVID-19 cases in Wisconsin. The total number is now more than 76,000. More than 1,100 people have died. The positivity rate has gone up by more than 1 percentage point since Monday to 8.3%. That sits just below the 7-day average of 8.5%.
Checking in on the roads on this Wednesday morning. If you're heading out across the Madison area right now, no crashes or major delays to speak of. Actually, really no slowdowns across much of the metro right now. There's your drive times if you're heading out. Average speed on the Beltline around 64 miles an hour. That's your first warn traffic.
6:09 now. Coming up, the National Health Institute casting doubt on a treatment for COVID recently approved by the FDA. We'll tell you why.
Plus, new research on virus antibodies. Why researchers say it gives them hope for a working vaccine.
Autumn adventurers run with Sloan. Save $500 on full-size and $300 on mid-size John Deere Gator XUVs. Plus, get 0% for 48 months. Get a John Deere Gator during Gear Up for Fall. And
it takes attention to detail. With your local Bryant dealer, you're getting more than just a technician. You're getting someone who pays attention to your needs and the little things that make a big difference. It takes a dealer you can rely on. And to keep your family warm this winter,
here, let me show you how this works.
It takes Bryant.
Bryant, whatever it takes.
For all your heating and cooling needs in Dane County, call Faro Heating.
Visit our Al-Beyer showroom in Janesville.
Serving South Central Wisconsin for over 60 years.
Lately, we found new ways to support and care for each other. And while every gesture counts, so too does every dollar. That's why American Family Insurance is returning $425 million to our customers. This includes a 10% savings for all current and new auto customers for the rest of the year. We hope this does your world some good and reminds you that supporting your dreams means the world to us. Contact your agent or go to amfam.com to learn about more ways to save.
You wash your cars and clothes and canines. You wash your cars and clothes and canines. You wash your cars and clothes and canines. At the Magic Wash. At the Magic Wash. Whoa.
Love getting prices that are lower than low on food that's fresher than fresh? With the Pick and Save app, you can get personalized coupons on top of weekly sales and rewards like fuel points, all for prices that are lower than the everyday low. So go ahead, get lower than low. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
As the weather gets warmer, get outside and see all the beauty Wisconsin has to offer. And let Meineke get you there safely. Make an appointment and save $20 on any oil change package. Prices starting as low as $14.99. Meineke Car Care Center is here to help.
A1 Furniture and Mattress on Stoughton Road is now open. Featuring affordable in-stock name brands for every room. With a huge selection that's hard to beat. That's why we're A1. Locally owned and operated since 1980.
Autumn adventurers run with Sloan. Save $500 on full-size and $300 on mid-size John Deere Gator XUVs. Plus, get 0% for 48 months. Get a John Deere Gator during Gear Up for Fall. And
all right, welcome back, everybody. The National Institutes of Health is throwing doubt this morning on a possible coronavirus treatment that the White House has touted as a breakthrough. Convalescent plasma has already been approved for emergency use by the FDA, but an NIH panel advises doctors not to use convalescent plasma as a standard of care for COVID-19 until more studies can be done. They say, quote, there's insufficient data to recommend either for or against the use of convalescent plasma for the treatment of COVID-19.
The most extensive study yet on the immune system's response to the virus over time shows antibodies may not fade as quickly as previous studies reported. The study found there are actually two waves of antibodies patients develop. The first wave is produced to fight the virus while it's active in the body, and the second forms a month or two later and lasts longer to prevent future infection. Scientists from Harvard say this study provides good hope for a vaccine and for lasting immunity.
Our emergency rooms are seeing a big decrease right now in visitors during the pandemic. SSM St. Mary's says that our area has seen a decline of 33% from April to June.
Doctors think some people might be hesitant to get the help they need because of the coronavirus, but it's important to note there are safety measures in place. Dr. Kyle Martin is joining us this morning to talk about them. Good morning, doctor.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for joining us so early. Let's start by breaking down why this is an issue, why this decrease in folks coming into the ER could be problematic for health.
Well, one of the things we've observed is that we have folks that I think if they'd come in earlier with their stroke or their heart attack, we really could have made a bigger difference intervening earlier on. An easy example of that, we're seeing more cases of appendicitis where the appendix is actually ruptured. And so if they'd come in earlier in the course, we could have gotten them to the operating room more quickly and potentially have prevented that rupture and the other serious things that happen from that. So it's really important that folks know that you don't want to delay going to the ER or calling your primary doctor for any of those anything that would worry you.
Well, Dr. Martin, do you think that the decline has anything to do with people who have lost their jobs and have lost their health care insurance, about it just being too expensive to visit the ER?
That certainly could be a component of things. I think that we're seeing a decline for a number of reasons. That could be part of it. Folks are a little less active this year than they have in past years, so we're seeing less trauma, less accidents. And I think that people appropriately are avoiding the ER still in order to make sure they're keeping everyone safe and they're not potentially coming in with coronavirus symptoms too, if they could follow up with their primary doctor or go to urgent care.
So what are some of the...
It's probably multifactorial.
Sure. So what are some of the safety protocols you folks have put in place to keep people safe during this pandemic?
You bet. It really starts at the beginning. As you're walking into the ER, we have a screener immediately, and you can't get past that point. At that point, we ask typical screening questions for symptoms that might be related to coronavirus. And if there are any, then they're brought immediately back to negative pressure rooms or this negative pressure wing that I'm in now. We also have a separate area for patients with non-COVID related symptoms that we see in a more typical kind of ER. Along with that, actually, I've got my friend Jim here is able to model. This is our typical PPE. We have plenty of PPE now. Obviously, earlier on, we were worried that we may be running out, but we've got good supplies right now. And so when we go in the room, we've got the mask and a face shield, goggles. Then we also have the gown and then gloves. And then this entire hallway is a negative pressure room. So what that means is that it's just basically a really strong vacuum, and it's pulling out any of those aerosolized particles are being pulled out immediately. So this whole hallway that we have is set up separately for potential coronavirus patients. And then on top of that, each room has additional negative pressure in addition to the hallway, which is also further pulling any of those particles, any of those viruses out, so that's not in the general circulating air. And that's one of the big things we see with bars.
Okay, that is good to hear. Thank you for your time this morning, Dr. Martin.
You bet. Thanks for having me.
Good to see you. 6:18 now. There's a new survey out this morning that says nurses are still reusing personal protective equipment because of shortages. The American Nurses Association conducted a nationwide survey of more than 21,000 nurses. It showed healthcare workers are still struggling to get the protective gear they need to safely treat coronavirus patients. Nurses say N95 masks are in short supply and are being reused even though it's not safe. More than half said the shortage has stayed the same or worsened since May.
Developing right now, firefighters say they're making good progress against a group of wildfires south of San Francisco this morning. They say the CZU Lightning Complex fires are now at least 43% contained. The flames have burned more than 1,000 buildings, 85,000 acres, and killed one person. About 35,000 people had to leave their homes, even though some evacuees are now allowed to come back. Hattie joins us with a look at your Wednesday forecast. Good morning, Hattie.
Good morning, Josh. Well, we're starting off on a nice note this morning. Take a look at current temperatures across the region. 63 degrees here in Madison, 64 in Janesville, 59 in the Dells. It is a little bit cooler, even down into the 40s in Black River Falls as you head north. Skies are clear for most of southern Wisconsin right now. Dew points are in the low 60s, but we're seeing a nice trend over the next 12 hours with those dew points will drop back into the lower 50s later on this afternoon. So no issues with humidity. Tiger in Fitchburg has the right idea. I think it's a pool day today, maybe one of the last of the season. High temperatures will be around 80 this afternoon with plenty of sunshine expected, but that outlook going forward shows you a downward trend in the temperatures. Normal highs this time of the year, 75 degrees. We'll be below that as we head into next week. Take a look at this picture. These are fall colors in Michigan's Upper Peninsula. Thanks, Luke, for sending that one in. Lots of reds showing up in those maple leaves. We're not seeing that here just yet, Chris, but maybe just right around the corner, right?
Yeah, we are not too far away. It's September 1st, so I don't feel guilty about talking about fall colors at this point, right? And it actually boils down to the weather a little bit when it comes to what fall color we would see here in south central Wisconsin. Now, one thing is for sure, with the lowering sun angle that you get this time of the year, especially as we get deeper into September and closer to October, you're always likely to see those oranges and yellows, at least some shade or variety of that. For the red and the purple, that's where the weather comes into play just a little bit more. You want those crisp, cool nights along with those dry, milder days. But there's even more where you break down the precipitation. You want a wet growing season overall, and you want your dry and quiet fall. Temperature-wise, generally you want to be cooler, but you do not want to be frosty. Here's how everything plays out for us. Let's look through the next 6 to 10 days. We've been talking about this for a bit. There's a well-advertised cold front that's going to be coming through, sending temperatures below normal for a lot of the country, but I am not concerned about frost. We look at the frost potential. Most of that's staying far to the north. There might be a little frost potential throughout parts of northern Minnesota, but the North Pole is where things are overall going to stay cold. Now, precipitation-wise, even though we've been drier than normal lately, we do still have above normal precipitation for the year as a whole. There's a 4-inch surplus, but looking into that fall, it's likely that we're going to stay drier than normal with temperatures a little bit cooler than normal. So we could see a good fall season this year.
All right. Thank you, Chris. 6:21 coming up in the next half hour. President Trump in Wisconsin yesterday paying a visit to Kenosha and surveying the damage. His comments are just ahead. Stay with us.
I'm possible at Herzing.
Ashley Home Store's unbeatable Labor Day 72-hour sale is on. Save up to 60% off special buys and doorbusters. Plus, get a bonus 5% holiday discount at checkout. And 5-year interest-free affordability makes for low monthly payments. Online and in-store at Ashley Home Store.
Wow, is that really me?
Here, I don't look 61 in 3 weeks. I have no wrinkles, no bags, and this is only because of Plexiderm.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Who am I? I'm just in love with the mirror right now.
Plexiderm is a wonderful product. I look at least 10 years younger.
It's a facelift in a jar.
The people you're watching have just seen themselves in the mirror for the first time since we applied Plexiderm to their problem areas. Their reactions are real, and so are the results from using Plexiderm. What's even more amazing is that it takes less than 10 minutes. Now you can watch your under-eye bags, wrinkles, and crow's feet visibly disappear for just $14.95 by going to plexidermtrial.com and taking the Plexiderm 10-minute challenge.
I'm Neela. I'm 61 years old. I'm a professional personal trainer. It's so important to be in good health and to be fit and take care of yourself. How it makes you feel inside is amazing. And yet, when you look in the mirror, what you see necessarily isn't what you feel inside. Plexiderm, seriously, it fixes all that. It makes you feel as good outside as you do inside. Honest to God, it's amazing. There's nothing there. Like, the bags are gone.
This is really good. This is, I'm going to fill my bathtub with this stuff and get the whole body this time. All these lines are gone. I feel like a new woman.
The instant results are from naturally based silicates found in shale clay. Once applied, your skin tightens and firms, rapidly reducing the appearance of under-eye bags, wrinkles, and crow's feet. At our $14.95 price, it's the best time to try Plexiderm and see it work for yourself. So if under-eye bags make you look tired and older, take the Plexiderm 10-minute challenge today for only $14.95. Just go to plexidermtrial.com or call the number on your screen.
Scranton is a long way from Wall Street. You won't find skyscrapers or big city bankers, just hard-working people. That's where Joe Biden's story starts. It's why he's running for president, for the backbone of this nation, working families. Donald Trump, he's in it for himself and his wealthy friends. In this crisis, we need to help workers and small businesses, and we need a president who will build back better.
I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
Ashley Home Store's unbeatable Labor Day 72-hour mattress sale is on. Save up to 60% off Beauty Rest and up to $1,000 instantly off doorbusters and special buys. Plus up to $300 in free furniture. Only at Ashley Home Store.
A wonderful My Morning picture from Heather. Oh, over the water. This is gorgeous. A lot of stuff going on here. Gorgeous morning. Thanks for that, Heather. If you have a My Morning picture you want to submit, it's real easy. Just post it on our social media and use the hashtag MyNews3Morning, and we'll choose our favorites on the air.
Another beautiful morning out there, Hattie. I know a lot of people are kind of mixed feelings about, like, is it time for summer yet? Should we be moving on to fall?
I did wear a flannel yesterday.
Whoa! Whoa!
Love a good flannel.
In the afternoon.
You're going to grow a beard next?
Well, one hippie move at a time.
I think you've been spending too much time with Leah, because Leah's already fast-forwarding right to fall.
Oh, my flannel.
And she goes right to the beard, too.
He'll be wearing cowboy boots soon, too, yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Well, looks like we at least have one more pool day forecast. Look at the Bears. They're already in there.
They're in the pool today. They got the right idea. It's going to be a beautiful day for southern Wisconsin. We have warm temperatures in the forecast once again. A little bit of fog near Watertown. That's developed just within the last 20 minutes. The fog situation in Platteville, though, has resolved. Skies are clear. No rain in the forecast. Take a look at high temperatures today. Your tea time forecast has a high of 80 degrees this afternoon.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
With Herzing University's Everywhere Classroom, you can earn a degree in today's hottest fields online. For a limited time, we'll waive your enrollment fee. See what your career can turn into. I'm possible at Herzing. Call or click today.
1, 2, 3, up.
Get to your Toyota dealer, but hurry, they're going fast. Toyota, let's go places.
It's Slumberland's huge Labor Day sale. Now is the time to focus on your home for less. Get this stylish, comfy sectional for just $9.98 and get the storage ottoman free. Or an incredible price on this highly recommended Sealy Posturepedic Queen mattress for just $4.49. If you've been waiting for our very best deals, this is it. And get free shipping with no minimum. You don't want to miss this one. The Labor Day sale at Slumberland Furniture.
terrorize Kenosha. Joe Biden takes a knee. Biden and the radical left's weak response has led to chaos and violence, and their calls for defunding police would make it worse. President Trump is making it stop, sending National Guard and federal law enforcement to protect Wisconsin's families. Communities, not criminals. Jobs, not mobs. Strong leadership when America needs it most.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Garver. Garver.
Gather. Ing. Gathering.
Garver.
Gathering.
Garv.
Garvering.
A socially responsible gathering where a maximum of 250 people enjoy thirst-quenching drinks, delicious food, and the arts in a safe, clean, and touchless outdoor environment. Let's go garvering. Visit thegarverfeedmill.com for dates and details starting June 11th.
Brought to you by News 3 Now, Madison Magazine, and the Garver Feed Mill.
To the thousands of Herzing University nursing and healthcare alumni, for your tireless commitment, and to all of your brave colleagues across America, we say thank you.
I'm possible at Herzing.
We're following breaking news within the last couple of hours here on a police oversight board and an independent monitor. We have City Council's decision and the mayor's reaction.
And we have a pool day forecast coming up for southern Wisconsin. Is it the last one of the season? All the answer coming up.
This is News 3 Now this morning.
Thanks for joining us, everyone. It was a late night or an early morning, you could call it, for the Madison City Council, and it is our breaking news from overnight.
Yes, the Madison Police Department will now have an added layer of oversight. The Civilian Oversight Board and an independent police monitor position will become a reality after that 9-hour meeting. Madison City Council voted within the last 3 hours to create the group and the monitor position. These are the 4 motions they passed. These create the positions, provide the funding, and offer up some operational details for them.
Here's what this means going forward. The 11-member Police Oversight Board will make recommendations on use of force and officer discipline. However, the ultimate decision to discipline and fire officers is still up to the city's Police and Fire Commission. They'll also appoint the independent police monitor, which is a paid position. That person will review incidents where force is used and will be in charge of processing citizen complaints and ensure independent reviews of policing. Both the independent monitor and the Oversight Board will be able to appoint legal counsel to guide people to bring complaints to the PFC. And just within the last 2 hours, we're now hearing from Madison Mayor Sati Rhodes Conway on the council's decision. She says the passage of the Oversight Board and Monitor is a milestone for the city and the state. She goes on to say the decision provides an opportunity for a strong set of candidates to be the foundation for a new era of transparency, cooperation, and continuous improvement.
These decisions come just hours before the Wisconsin Professional Police Association will reveal its police reform plan. The group says its blueprint for change will be a comprehensive police reform initiative. They'll officially release that plan at 9 o'clock this morning. The WPAA represents more than 20,000 officers across more than 300 law enforcement agencies.
Police reform is what protesters across Wisconsin want from local leaders.
But it's something that the president did not address during his visit to Kenosha yesterday. The president toured damage of city buildings and used his time to show support for local law enforcement. He participated also in a roundtable with local lawmakers as well as Jacob Blake's mother's pastors. When a reporter, though, asked the pastors about whether police violence is a systemic issue, the president interjected.
Some African-American community leaders, and a lot of others actually, have said it's systemic. Where do you stand on that?
I don't believe that. No, I don't believe that. I think the police do an incredible job. And I think you do have some bad apples. I think you'd agree. Every once in a while, you'll see something. And you do have the other situation, too, where they're under this tremendous pressure and they don't handle it well. They call it choking, and it happens. And that's what you should be.
At the roundtable, the president also said he condemns dangerous anti-police rhetoric. When asked what his message is for Jacob Blake's family, he said he feels terribly for anyone who goes through that.
We talked to Wisconsinites after President Trump's visit to get their take on the trip. What we found were very different opinions.
I'm really glad that he's here. I feel that he is supporting the citizens of this city.
As far as I'm concerned, he can stay out of Kenosha permanently.
Despite those different perspectives, one thing we have seen from everyone in that city is that everybody wants to heal.
Republican Senator Ron Johnson has supported the president's visit since it was first announced, and overnight he sent out this tweet. Johnson was one of the members on the roundtable along with Representative Brian Stile. Democratic Representative Mark Pocan feels differently. In a tweet overnight, Pocan says that he believes President Trump didn't come for Jacob Blake or his family and instead came to spread hate. Pocan is a Kenosha native. He held a news conference along with other Democratic leaders in Kenosha ahead of the president's visit.
Business owners and law enforcement in Kenosha will soon get federal funding. During that roundtable, President Trump said his administration will give $1 million to Kenosha law enforcement and $4 million to support small businesses whose buildings were damaged. He says more than $42 million will be given to support public safety statewide. Jacob Blake's family wishes, though, that funding would go toward helping the city's black communities. Justin Blake is Jacob's uncle. He says the president has made comments that have empowered police officers to be hateful toward black Americans.
Let me tell you where funding needs to go. Funding needs to go in the African-American community so we can have, our children can have a chance to be successful. Funding should go into education in communities like this. Funding should go into giving businesses an entrepreneur an opportunity to rebuild and be functional and be supportive in their own community.
Justin Blake has been calling for legislative reform since a Kenosha officer shot his nephew. The family is also pushing for that officer, Rustin Shesky, to be indicted, convicted, and sent to jail.
Here's the latest from the Department of Justice on the shooting of Jacob Blake. Attorney General Josh Call says so far investigators have spent more than 600 hours going through 28 videos, 102 pieces of evidence, and speaking to 88 witnesses. The department has issued 4 search warrants. It hasn't issued an official report yet. Those reports typically come out within a month of the investigation being open, so we could see it within the next couple of weeks.
Just into the newsroom this half hour, a group of protesters are filing a federal lawsuit against the city of Kenosha. Local media reports in Milwaukee say 4 people argued the city's curfew orders aren't lawful. Those protesters say it goes against their First Amendment rights. The protesters say police are arresting people based on their views, and they believe more Black Lives Matter protesters are getting arrested than those with a pro-police message. The complaint uses 2 videos as evidence. City officials haven't commented on the lawsuit. A current curfew in effect in Kenosha expires here in about 25 minutes. Just about 6:36 this morning, Hattie joins us with a look at the forecast. Hattie, we're kind of on this roller coaster of temperatures this week, and now we're kind of on the upswing before the big downfall next weekend.
Yeah, exactly. And we are going to see temperatures drop pretty quickly next week. But until we get there, we have mild conditions and dry weather in the forecast through Saturday. Now, we did have some rain overnight, but that is gone, and the rest of the day will be dry. Showers are back into the forecast on Sunday. That's the middle of the 3-day holiday weekend, and that chance for rain will continue into Labor Day. As Josh mentioned, it is going to turn downward next week as far as the temperature trend is concerned. We're talking highs in the 60s, which is about 10 degrees below normal for this time of the year. Now, speaking of that rain overnight, here's a look at 24-hour precipitation estimates, and it's pretty light for most areas. A few spots north of Watertown, parts of Dodge County picking up about 3/4 of an inch of rain, but generally less than a half an inch for the areas that did receive rain. Now, the rain has already exited out of the area, and as we look to the west, Minnesota, with Iowa, and much of the Dakotas dry right now. So a very quiet forecast for the remainder of the day today. Clouds have been clearing out of the area as well all morning long, and you can see the back edge of the cloud working its way through far southeastern Wisconsin. The rest of the state already clear. Now, there is one cold front back to our north and west. No precipitation associated with that front. As it shifts through the area, there will be a shift in the wind direction, and also we'll look for drier conditions. Dry meaning the dew points. Dew points are going to fall through the day today. Take a look at that trend back into the low 50s. That's what you like to see. Our future track forecast model shows you nothing but sunshine today. Temperatures will be back in the mid-70s by lunchtime. We should top right around 80 degrees here in Madison and most of the surrounding areas. Enjoy that warmth today. It is going to be just a little bit cooler tomorrow. Our high still 78, but a breezy northwest wind will probably make it feel a little bit more like fall tomorrow. We're back into the 70s then through the first part of the weekend, and that well-advertised punch of colder air coming in next week. We're looking at highs in the mid-60s by Tuesday.
Earlier today, Leah asked if it was time to start bringing our plants inside.
You're never going to let me live this down.
You know, Leah, I just actually planted a few late season crops in my garden. Things like spinach, beets, things that can handle a little bit of cold.
Plenty of time.
We have weeks yet, probably.
I'm just going to say this now. You two are jinxing us. In about a week, we're going to have highs in the low 30s, and it's going to be your fault.
Somebody knock on some wood. Thanks, Addie. 6:38, a new audit of the U.S. Postal Service says it's not ready enough to deliver election mail on time by November. The agency's watchdog says there are several potential issues. The Washington Post reports these include ballots mailed out without tracking barcodes, mail sent too close to Election Day for the Postal Service to deliver it on time, and ballot requirements. A historic 180 million Americans are eligible to vote by mail for the November election. But the Postal Service in 46 states, including Wisconsin, can't guarantee all ballots will arrive in time to be counted. Wisconsin election officials, though, they say the state is ready. They have been meeting weekly with the post office to prepare for the expected surge in mail-in ballots. More than 900,000 people have already requested absentee ballots for November. More than 3 million are expected to vote. In the August partisan primary, more than 10,000 requested ballots were never sent to voters. The Election Commission says they still don't know why those ballots didn't get there. The presidential election is now less than 9 weeks away.
New this morning, for the first time in history, a Kennedy has lost a primary election. Massachusetts Senator Ed Markey beat four-term Congressman Joe Kennedy in the Massachusetts primary. Kennedy is the 39-year-old grandson of Robert F. Kennedy. Senator Markey is heavily favored to be reelected in November.
Well, local hospitals say they are seeing a decline in the number of people heading to the ER, but it may not be for good reasons. The ER at SSM Health St. Mary's says visits have been down 33% from April to June compared to last year. Doctors say they think people are more hesitant to come to the hospital during COVID-19 and are staying home or delaying visits for serious health problems. The folks at SSM Health are urging people not to wait, especially for things like possible appendicitis. They say they're taking multiple precautions to make sure that people aren't exposed to COVID-19.
Public Health Madison in Dane County is making an amendment to its emergency school order on day 2 of school for many districts in the area. Starting today, students with disabilities or an individualized education program can be taught in person. Public and private schools in Dane County are still closed for in-person instruction for grades 3 through 12. Those students are starting the year virtually. And school's going to have a harder time affording personal protective equipment. FEMA is changing its policy on funding for PPE. In a conference call obtained by NPR, states learned they will no longer be reimbursed for cloth face masks and disinfection products unless they're for emergency protective measures. The policy goes into effect in less than 2 weeks on September 15th.
General Motors and Ford say that they have finished their contracts with the U.S. government to make thousands of ventilators for COVID-19 patients. GM says it made 30,000 of them at a plant in Indiana for just about $500 million. The company's contract with DHS required it to make those ventilators by August 31st. Ford made 50,000 ventilators for $336 million at its site in Detroit. The United States will not participate in an international effort to develop and distribute a coronavirus vaccine. The White House says it's because the effort is tied to the World Health Organization. This keeps the U.S. isolated from more than 170 countries involved in the COVAX initiative. A White House spokesperson says that the U.S. will still engage with international partners to fight the virus.
Let's check in on your traffic conditions this Wednesday morning. If you're heading out across the Madison and Dane County area, no crashes or major delays to speak of. Rock County looking much of the same. There's your drive times as you head out, moving at posted speeds. Let's take a live look outside at 6:42. Beautiful start out there as we kick off this hump day. Hattie's going to have more on your Wednesday forecast coming up when News 3 Now This Morning continues.
Hey, Culligan, our water makes my skin and hair feel like I'm 90.
How do you feel about high-efficiency water softeners from Culligan Water?
What?
How do you feel about smoother skin and luxurious hair?
I feel very good about that.
That's the power of water.
I love to equal the playing field. I love to help people and allow them to feel like they are powerful instead of powerless. We're with our clients every step of the way.
Gingras, Thompson & Walks.
You've heard
heard that an apple a day keeps the doctor away, but you still need to see your dentist because getting good dental care is important to your overall health. You know dental bills can take a big bite out of your budget, especially if you're retired or on Medicare. Even a simple cleaning can cost $200. And other procedures like crowns and root canals can cost hundreds, even thousands more. But affordable dental insurance from Physicians Mutual Insurance Company can help. Give us a call or go online for this free information kit with all the details. This isn't just a discount plan or for checkups only. This is real dental insurance that can help pay for over 350 covered procedures, like cleanings, fillings, crowns, even dentures. There are no deductibles, no annual maximum, and you can see any dentist you like. So don't wait. Call or go to sendinfokit.com to get your free information kit. Call now.
It's the 4-day Super Labor Day sale at Denver Mattress. Right now, the more you buy, the more you save. Save $100 on every $1,000 you spend. Check out the Summit Firm for only $189.99. Or save 10% on your entire Casper purchase. Take 25% off our entire Doctor's Choice lineup and save up to $200 on Rejuvenate adjustable bases. Plus 7 years no interest and free shipping right to your doorstep.
Hurry, the 4-day Super Labor Day sale ends Monday.
Trust us to get it right. These storms are capable of producing some heavy rain and maybe some hail.
To keep you prepared.
When severe weather is on the way.
We have an alert day in the forecast for this evening for strong to possibly severe thunderstorms, hail, high winds, perhaps even an isolated tornado can't be ruled out.
And your family's safety is on the line. You need to seek shelter immediately.
Our team and technology are ready to help you stay safe.
Trust the First Warn Weather Team on News 3 Now. As University of Wisconsin campuses reopen, News 3 Now's Chris Stanford brings you an exclusive interview with UW System President Tommy Thompson.
Protect the professor, the instructor, the employees, and above all, the students.
Wednesday at 6, only on News 3 Now.
Wisconsin voters deserve the truth. I'm News 3 Now's Amy Reed. I'm breaking down political ads, explaining whose money is behind them and separating truth from misinformation. Get the facts with Reality Check, only on News 3 Now.
So when you go to the grocery store, you expect to see people wearing masks and social distancing, right?
And one shopper at a grocery store in California making it a little easier to socially distance. Take a look at this. Shoppers at Kings Beach Safeway near Lake Tahoe giving this gentleman a lot of space. This is a bear in the produce aisle. Shoppers say this is the second time this has happened. A bear visited the same store just a couple of weeks ago, left with a bag of tortilla chips. This bear must be on a diet. He's grabbing, what, some peaches, some pears there? No chips in sight.
I don't know. I think the bear is very hungry.
Oh my God. Gotta fill his picnic basket.
No response. Crickets.
Was that a joke? That was so bad. Josh.
Better than you. We talked about this earlier, saying that the bear is doing its business in the produce aisle.
Yeah, that was a mistake.
Clean up in produce.
That was a mistake. He's well behaved as he shops. You guys.
He had his pick of anything he wanted. I don't think anyone was going to fight him for any of those items.
I just couldn't believe the person that was that close with the camera. Like, I'd be running the other direction.
Like it's an everyday occurrence.
Hey, not the only bear that's up and at 'em this morning. The polar bear is out in the pool this morning as well.
Yeah, I've been keeping my eye on the polar bears. They're definitely swimming, giving you a hint. It is a pool day for all of us, not just the bears today. Temperatures are going to be warmer than they were yesterday. Well, we're already doing some laps, getting some calories burned. We have quarter-mile visibility in Watertown, so some fog developing east of Madison this morning. It's pretty isolated, though, not a widespread issue. Temperatures are definitely warmer this morning than they were this time yesterday by about 10 to 15 degrees. Here are the actual numbers. Many spots still in the 60s, 63 in Madison, 64 in Janesville. To the north, though, it is a little cooler. We have 59 in the Dells, as well as Camp Douglas. Here's a look at our temperatures over the next 12 hours. It's going to be a quick warm-up today, back into the mid-70s by lunchtime, topping right around 80 degrees later on this afternoon. And if you are thinking ahead to the holiday weekend, here's your forecast. We do have a chance for rain on Sunday and a slight chance Monday. Overall, though, a cooler trend. So if you're camping, keep this in mind. Even heading into the North Woods, it is going to turn cooler through the weekend.
All right, plan accordingly. Thank you, Hattie.
6:47 now. Stick around. The morning sprint is up after the break.
But first, it is September 2nd, and we want to say happy birthday to William. This is News 3 Now photographers Jim's son. Aww. Yeah, look at that cutie. Happy birthday to William and all the other kids turning 3 today. Thanks for celebrating with us on News 3 Now this morning.
Cutie.
Look Who's 3 is sponsored by Three Bears Resort, Indoor Water Park and Conference Center in Warrens, Wisconsin.
Ashley Home Store's unbeatable Labor Day 72-hour mattress sale is on. We guarantee the best mattress deals in Wisconsin. Savings up to 60% off top brands. And free delivery within 5 days on in-stock beds. Only at Ashley Home Store.
This car since you were 8 policy from American Family Insurance. Insure carefully. Dream fearlessly.
Belvita breakfast biscuits are baked with nutritious morning energy. Energy to share joy. Energy to share new ideas. Energy to share more light with the world. Nutritious morning energy from Belvita. It takes energy to share your energy.
Attic Angel Community has earned a reputation as the one and only. But what's so memorable to the people who live here?
It's good local heart. Interesting friends.
The view from my window.
Continuing education.
The food.
The amazing art studio.
Happy hour.
There are many reasons to love Attic Angel Community, but there's just one Attic Angel.
Attention, have you or a loved one suffered from maculopathy, a serious retinal injury, after taking the prescription drug Almiron for interstitial cystitis or bladder pain syndrome? In 2018, a researcher at the Emory School of Medicine linked Almiron, a prescription drug that treats interstitial cystitis or bladder pain syndrome, to maculopathy, which is sight-threatening and can cause an abrupt change of vision. Call Almiron Justice for a free legal consultation.
Please call 800-395-6755.
Lawless criminals terrorize Kenosha. Joe Biden takes a knee. Biden and the radical left's weak response has led to chaos and violence, and their calls for defunding police would make it worse. President Trump is making it stop, sending National Guard and federal law enforcement to protect Wisconsin's families. Communities, not criminals. Jobs, not mobs. Strong leadership when America needs it most.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
At Papa Murphy's, we make fresh pizza that you bake at home. Because home is where the fun is. Right now, get a Murphy's combo for just $10. Papa Murphy's. Change the way you pizza.
Furniture and Appliance Mart's 72-hour Labor Day appliance sale is on. Get Wisconsin's best appliance deals guaranteed, plus 18 months no interest, and free delivery within 5 days on all in-stock appliances at Furniture and Appliance Mart inside Ashley Home Store off the Beltline.
Fly local again. Dane County Regional Airport. Safe, clean, and convenient.
All right, time right now is 6:51. It is time for the morning sprint.
We start with some breaking news overnight. Within the last 3 hours, the Madison City Council voted to make the Civilian Oversight Board and Independent Police Monitor position a reality. The 11-member Police Oversight Board will make recommendations on use of force and officer discipline. However, the ultimate decision to discipline and fire officers is still up to the city's Police and Fire Commission. They'll also appoint the Independent Police Monitor, which is a paid spot. That person will review incidents where force is used and will be in charge of processing citizen complaints and ensuring independent reviews of policing. Both the Independent Monitor and the Oversight Board will be able to appoint legal counsel to guide people who bring complaints to the PFC. Madison Mayor Sati Rhodes Conway says the passage of the Oversight Board and Monitor is a milestone for the city and state. She goes on to say the decision provides an opportunity for a strong set of candidates to be the foundation for a new era of transparency, cooperation, and continuous improvement.
Business owners and law enforcement in Kenosha will soon get federal funding. During a roundtable in the city, President Trump said his administration will give $1 million to Kenosha law enforcement and $4 million to support small businesses whose buildings were damaged. He says more than $42 million will be given to support public safety statewide.
One of the two women accused of attacking a state senator during recent protests will be in court today. Samantha Hamer is facing charges of party to a crime of substantial battery against Senator Tim Carpenter. Corrida O'Reilly is also facing those charges. She entered a not guilty plea in court yesterday.
Vice President Mike Pence will be in Wisconsin for the second time in 3 weeks. He'll travel to La Crosse on Labor Day to visit Dairyland Power Cooperative. His office says he'll speak while he's there to thank hardworking Americans.
Federal officers could be going back to Portland. Some local law enforcement agencies in the city are refusing to respond to protests. Oregon's governor has asked outside agencies for help after someone shot and killed a protester over the weekend. The acting Homeland Security Secretary says the federal government will have no choice but to protect Americans if the protests continue. There have been nearly 100 days now of demonstrations in Portland and nearly 700 arrests.
A commission will choose a new state flag for Mississippi. The state retired its 126-year-old banner, which included the Confederate battle emblem. The commissioner's recommendation will go on the November ballot. If voters accept it, it will become the new state flag. If they reject it, the process starts back over.
The woman accused of helping 2 inmates escape the Columbia Correctional Institution will be in court today. The sheriff's office says Catherine Woodrick picked up Thomas Deering and James Newman from a nearby Piggly Wiggly after their escape in April. She's facing 2 counts of escape as a party to a crime.
ICE says it has arrested more than 2,000 immigrants during a 6-week nationwide operation. It spanned all of July and August. 85% of the arrests were for people with criminal convictions or charges. The other 15, though, are undocumented immigrants with clean records. In March, ICE had said it would only focus on people with criminal records during the pandemic.
The CDC will help keep you in your home for a little bit longer. The organization will pause evictions for some Americans struggling to pay rent because of the pandemic. It's broadening existing protections as part of an effort to prevent an impending eviction crisis across the country. The White House says this applies to people making less than $99,000 a year. People will also have to prove that they've tried to get government assistance for their rental payments.
We could surpass 77,000 confirmed cases of COVID-19 in Wisconsin today. Right now, we have just over 76,700 all-time cases. Just under 10% of those are still active. Tuesday saw an increase in percent positive cases from Monday's count, but an interruption to the state database could have contributed.
The Bucks hope for some better luck tonight in Game 2 of their playoff series against the Miami Heat. They lost Game 1, 115-104 on Monday. That was despite leading Miami 40-29 after the first quarter. They'll hope for fewer turnovers and better D tonight. Tip-off is set for 5:30.
6:55. Final look at the roads on this Wednesday morning. If you're heading out right now, really no problems. Looks like we do have actually a new stall vehicle on the interstate. We'll have details coming up and during CBS this morning. The rest of Madison looking like this. Few delays on Park Street. Also, East Washington looking a little slow as you approach the Stoughton Road and Highway 30 area. There's your inbound drive times looking good, moving at around 64 miles an hour on the Beltline. That's your First Warn traffic.
And your First Warn weather forecast shows you clearing skies already happening across southern Wisconsin. Lots of sunshine in our forecast today. Temperatures have dropped another degree in Madison, down to 62 now, 58 in the Dells, 60 in Platteville. Should be a pretty nice warm-up, though, through the day. A little bit of patchy fog early this morning near Watertown. Otherwise, temperatures climbing to the mid-70s by lunchtime. We'll top at 80 degrees this afternoon with mostly sunny skies. Overall, tonight will stay a little bit milder with lows in the low 60s. Then as we head through the rest of the week, dry weather is expected with pretty comfortable conditions. For the upcoming holiday weekend, chances for rain return late Saturday night into Sunday, and there still is a chance on Monday as well.
Thanks, Hattie. Have a great day, everybody. Join us again tomorrow.